Good morning and welcome to open season casting session of the day. We have the Davidvj versus Sithari here. It's the quarterfinal of the 1300 to 1500 elo bracket. So we have a potential cavalry matchup here. So Teutons certainly they have other options. They have overall fantastic melee units, but you'd more often than not see Teutons go for their cavalry mid-game as their knights, except for husbandry, are fully upgraded and into paladin, and as the Teutons civilization bonus, they're also granted +1 melee armor in the castle and imperial ages. So, and Frank's pretty self-explanatory, of course. Sithari does apparently random Franks a lot when he plays random, so now he's picked them as well. It's obviously one of the absolute better, maybe the best cavalry civ for open land maps out there with their eco bonuses and strong plus 20% hit points for later cavalry as well. That said, for the map though, Sithari has not got the best one ever. All the left side here, there's two golds right near the hill cliff here, the hill cliff, and if you want to go for some full walls, you have a long section to cover here. And one back woodland also, not complete disaster, and berries a bit to the side here. And then the main gold fairly close to the DC. So there is potential here, but if we compare it to the Teuton side here, we have a back gold for Davidvj here. We have a side main gold, back side fairly wallable. We see him putting the houses down already. But the front side in return is also quite as open. So I'm hoping to see some feudal age aggression here and not just full wall and turtle, as the tournament is called open season and not closed season. Nevertheless, I wouldn't be too surprised to see scouts from either player here. So we see both players with 3 on wood here. That is usually indicative of the scouts' investment. Sithari with some random houses around the DC here, but that also limits villager walking time. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but in this area in front of the DC is actually quite covered now, so so any units passing this way might at some point need to pass next to the TC to enter the enemy base. Backstone at least limits the potential of being subject to a tower rush from the Teutons here. Here comes Davidvj, he's taking a hit from the town center. There's one poke away and this scout is dead for the yellow player. Some idle eco time for Sithari there, but that goes for Davidvj as well. As Sithari is entering opponent base. Also has been running into TC fire here. Or wait. Scouts fight, that's why. That's why they're low, and they both managed to bail before the last hit, apparently. Alright, so can't catch everything here. I missed the scouts fight, apparently. Some intel being gathered here. They both know their enemies' locations, and neither player should be surprised to see the other one going for scouts. They're dropping the barracks. Davidvj with a 6 seconds heads. No, 6 seconds behind here, in fact. But he finishes the barracks earlier just to not risk anything there. Sithari with 0 idle time is slightly better. Smoother in the scouts build here in that regard. He knows what's coming, so he's also walling off the right hand side here to limit scouts aggression from at least the right hand side. The stables is going up, but Davidvj can't really stop it from going up, because the scout only has 1 hit point or so left. Immediate spearman in the queue for Davidvj, and yeah, stable is going up as well. So there's definitely merit to scouts playing for both players here. The maps are so open that the mobility of the scouts will allow them to reach the enemy base before the full walls can complete here. Wait. Sithari is struggling for food for scouts, apparently, or either that, or you're just queuing one at a time, and not wanting to overextend here. The scouts numbers are similar here, but this one is weak, isn't it? But the spearman joins in here as well, I think. Wasn't there an opening right next to the stables there not long ago? 2 versus 1 here. I think Sithari did. Ah, okay, so debating towards TC. That's a good call as well. There is local economic walling here. One down, and 2 spears to defend or offend here, depending on how you look at it. It is Davidvj on the first offensive, but he's not going to be able to do much here with the walls in towards the TT like this. Now it's Sithari's turn for some counter-aggression if he can muster a couple more scouts. 2 scouts. And keeping the spears at home to defend. $88 to $90. See that the Frank's extra hit points there? It's even if one of your scouts are weakened, or is weakened, you still stand a good chance against generic scouts. 3 versus 2 here now. Davidvj probably shouldn't invest anything more into the scouts now, just aim for a smoother cast instead. Look at all these farms. That's what Teutons can do. It's actually the same number of farms for both players, but Davidvj is saving some wood as Teuton's farms cost 40% less wood. Five scouts to 2 now, so Sithari keeps investing into the scouts, hoping that the enemy side isn't completely walled, but looks like Davidvj has secured his area, so Sithari may have over-invested into the Frank scouts here. Spears fighting spears, scouts trying to enter. But look at the Teuton's farm eco here. It's really been paying off for Davidvj here. He's relocating a little bit. Force dropping, I think he did, to try for that cast stage, but he's missing the second. No, never mind. The backsmith is there. There's the cast stage click for Davidvj. Sithari shouldn't be too far off though, and only 300 more food, and Sithari should be up to the next stage as well, so not too much of a difference between the Teutons and Franks here. They'll both have wheelbarrow, they all have their eco upgrades, as should be for the scouts, getting both double bidax and horse collar. These scouts shouldn't be a threat now that Sithari is pulling his own scouts back, and in the middle we have scout versus scout here, and for some reason not attacking the weaker one here and in this dude is just backing away. Range for skirmishers against enemy pikes and spearmen and pikes, I guess. Could also be, of course, to add with crossbows for the Franks here. That's a double gold combo, which is extremely heavy on the gold economy, but all that more efficient against enemy pikes and knights, for that matter. Because if you go into crossbows, then you doesn't matter that the Teutons melee units have more melee armor, right? So if you have some crossbows to back your units, it's just that it takes a lot of upgrades and time to get to good enough crossbows and numbers to justify the addition. We'll see what Sithari makes out of the range here. I doubt it's going to be Cav Archers. You don't see Frank's Cav Archers a lot. Unless your name is Umut and this and your 40 skirts. Then you make Frank Cav Archers. Not a hole? Nah, not a hole. Teuton's knights are out and should slay the scouts here, even with the speed of the scouts. Franks get husbandry, Teutons don't. That's Frank's advantage in this matchup. Aside from the bloodlines essentially kicking in for 3 for Franks with that extra 20% hit points. That's the cast age for Sithari as well. And going straight into 2 TCs, I think. Maybe in the third one. Oh, that's a beautiful TC spot. Great of Sithari to secure that, actually. 2 golds and a stone. Still easily, quotation mark, denied with some presence on the hill here from the enemy, but all the more reason for Sithari to secure it. He could also, he has cheaper castles as Frank, so could fortify this position later on with a castle on the hill or on either side here. Davidvj with the knight's numbers here, though, is really benefiting from that, what was it, 30 seconds or so lead to the cast stage here. There are 7 knights out already. Did he go 2 stables? Yeah. As Sithari doesn't stress out with this, is committing to repairs. Rushing the upgrades as well. It's rushing that +2 defense to contest the Teutons as best as he can here, but he'll need the attack upgrade as well for it to be justified. The stables go down, actually, for Sithari. That's really bad news here for the Franks player. That's 1 less building to produce units from. And I don't understand the application of the range, because Sithari still hasn't made a unit out of it. So that's a breach by Davidvj. Good quick walls by Sithari though, even though Davidvj keeps the numbers advantage here, pumping out those knights. 11 knights total now to Sithari's 5. Sithari with 3 TCs producing builders though, and the Teutons player currently at 2, so Sithari should be taking a villager lead here quite soon. But the Franks Knights against the Teutons Knights here, I mean, Davidvj has the +1 attack as well, and that extra melee defense, as you can see, +3, +2. And keeps focused in the stables here. Sithari needs, I'd say he needs a monk, but those are Teutons Knights, they actually resist conversion, so even monk's defense isn't an easy option here for the Franks. Oh, there's nobody. Don't show it! Uh-oh. Man down! Alright, so the raids are real for Davidvj here now. 3 TCs for Sithari, but that doesn't help all that much if you can't produce army and if you lose more villagers here. Some houses going up. Let's see if that woman completes it in time. There's not enough space inside TC to hide all the villagers, sadly, so more numbers will go down here. Look at the eco KD. Well, it's only... What? I think it's the hole here that Sithari thinks is plugged the gap or something. I'm not sure. There it is. What is this pathing? Oh, well, fair. Fair comment as well. We all know the pathing issues that exist in this game. Solid performance of Davidvj on Arabia here, though. Is showing some good Teutons play here. Not the most obvious one we on Arabia pick, but it's certainly seemed to work out with Davidvj here. Military score higher for the yellow player, of course. 8 times the unit count of Sithari, actually. Twice the army. Economy should show, surprisingly enough, higher food count for flanks here. But more wood for Teutons to save wood. Spending less wood on farms, so that's probably why. Not transition enough wood into farms and a lot of other stuff there. Up times, yeah, it was a good minute lead for Davidvj, so that brought in some advantage there in the progression of the game, and society score shouldn't be too interesting, showing the villager high, at least. Let's find Sithari's home map, which will be Atacama. For those who know the Civ jingles. Khmer has been heard here. You go with Atacama for game 2 here after a rather swift game 1 here, I'd say. But this time around we have Davidvj with the Khmer. One of the obvious advantages for Khmer here is to hide inside houses in case you get raided. So if you want to go for the front wood line first, which is kind of far away from your TC, you could still place a few houses, both forming kind of a wall towards the villagers and as a point of refuge for your villagers if you get raided. It's going to cause idle eco time for you, but in exchange you want to save villagers' lives, so idle villagers better than dead villagers. Simple as that. For Sithari, we have another civilization I would consider a strong cavalry civ, but they're classified as an infantry civilization, the Bulgarians, as they have they get the swordsman line upgrades instantly throughout each age. Man at Arms is a no-brainer and a go-to for the Bulgarians. But saving that 100 food and 40 gold for the Man at Arms upgrade and the time as well means that you could go start off with kind of a rush build with your 3 militia, send them forward, go for the feudal age, and then follow up these Men at Arms with scouts. But for Atacama, or Unknown Map as Capital H calls it, Men at Arms towers could be very strong here as well. Because for each time you force your opponent to relocate their wood line, I mean, there's all these small wood lines in the back, right? So they're not going to sustain you for long. You want the chunkier wood lines in the middle here eventually. And if you get pushed off those, you need to spend 100 wood each time to rebuild a lumber camp and get production back on track. So that's why Men at Arms and towers can be very strong here. And for Bulgarians, getting Men at Arms instantly, that's a win already for that build order. Not to mention that Bulgarians get crep posts in the castle age onwards as well, which is a mini castle and can produce the unique unit. So Sithari looking for the enemy side now, goes straight over to the other side, it's gonna turn a bit north and most likely run into the berries here, maybe even DC Fire if he gets really unlucky here. But Laming isn't out of the question either. Could snag the boar here if you're in a dirty mood, Sithari. We'll see. Might take some TC Fire here. That's a decent dodge though. And just gathering the core intel here. Find us a small woodline over here maybe. 3 on wood for Davidvj for now. Does he want to play scouts as the Khmer here at 3 on wood, 12 on food? I mean, Khmer is deceiving because you don't need the barracks to produce the stable or the rage, so even if you have only 3 on wood, it could be enough to pull off, for example, a scouts build, and straight archers build, with some tweaking when you're approaching the feudal age. 4 wood now for Davidvj, so we'll see what he has in his plans soon enough here. Sithari just chilling out for now and trying to pick off the enemy scout without much success here, losing a sheep in the process potentially. Oh, Davidvj really wants that delicious mutton, doesn't he? It's sheep food. No, what's it called? It's not mutton, it's something else. Anyway. One yellow sheep finding his merry way home here, and Davidvj knows the enemy TC location. Obviously took some hits as well. They're both going for the small woodlands first, which I think makes sense. It's closer to the TC if you need to flee at some point. Will Sithari snag the sheep back? Don't think he minds all that much. There's a deer here to be pushed as well if Sithari has them scouted, but he doesn't quite. 2 on stone, but looks with a weak villager. But definitely suggesting a man-at-arms towers play here with Sithari going to reach the feudal age just about 9 minutes here, like 9:20 or so. So beating the Khmer quite easily, handily to it here, as the Khmer player seems to be planning on scouts instead here. We'll see what happens in the feudal age though, with no gold, no stone taken for Davidvj. Davidvj both stones forward as well, so if Sithari can deny those, that's huge actually. That's going to make it much tougher for the Khmer to defend against the towers, because counter towers will be tougher to make. So let's see if Davidvj can see the movement. Oh, he sees the villager moving. Ah, he's just passing, but he's gonna see Sithari on stone potentially soon enough. No, now he's looking for more villagers. No, he missed those as well. 4 villagers, 3 men-at-arms. This could be a very strong forward for Sithari here. No houses to garrison inside for the Khmer either. This should be 1 man down, and the barracks gets really delayed here. Wow. Fighting off with the villagers against men-at-arms. Never ideal. Oh, shoot! Hit the weak one! Sithari, what are you doing? What are you doing? Boo! So barracks goes up, tower goes up, but the men-at-arms are down. So unless Sithari mines some more gold, there aren't going to be more men-at-arms on the field, and the tower fails to go up here. So all in all, maybe slightly lucky spot for Davidvj there to see 1 villager passing through the forest, and now stopping the tower on the woodline. He relocates back to the back woodline for now, just in case this tower goes up, and commits to villager fighting here with actually an hit points disadvantage here. Oh, we're really committing, aren't we? Sithari, you're Bulgarians, not Incas. Well, they mess, and the stables aren't even up yet. So if Sithari scouts this one going up. Tower right on the stable here. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know who to favor here. Sithari committing extreme amounts of builders forward. I mean, he has like 9 builders forward now, 8 builders in the spear. But he's idling Davidvj as well. He's gonna wall in this stable if he succeeds in doing so. There's 1 scout garrison inside here, but Davidvj with 1 house foundation here, which will force Sithari to make another layer of walls around here before Davidvj deletes this house and lets the scouts out here. Maybe, just maybe, Sithari can stop this happen. Which bracket is this? 1300 to 1500 elo bracket. Yeah, it was a weak choice to chase with all the weak villagers. So the scouts make it out, but just 1 tile gap and 1 spearman poke away here. What is this game? Ay. Another tower on the woodland. So this is Men at Arms towers on Atacama. Come on, at least finish the last bit of palisade there. Scouts won't be going anywhere, of course. One tower getting battered down here by Davidvj's villagers again, and the idle eco timer is actually higher for Davidvj here, but Sithari with more idle TC time at home, so he's slightly behind the villagers still. And it's this is reminiscent of an Incas style play here, or maybe a Persian douche, but it's neither. It's the Bulgarians. No more men at arms and towers rush going on here. Because the men at arms died fairly quickly to Davidvj. That tower gets bailed on. Tower on one stone now, but the other stone is still obtainable by Davidvj here, so we'll be seeing some defensive towers. There's not enough stone for at least 2 defensive towers here. Khmer farming eco might save Davidvj here as well. It is more efficient than generic farms, and the Bulgarians, for now, only with 3 farms at home. And with the berries depleted, Sithari will be struggling for food or TC production here in not too long. Again, the tower on the woodline, and again, Davidvj will probably send the villagers in to batter this one down. Imagine having just a couple of men at arms to back this up if they didn't die that early. Yeah, and Davidvj would have a lot harder time to contest the towers. He's sending some villagers to counter tower now, maybe, or is it just taking the wood over here? Could be just for the wood. They are builders, though. Alright, yeah, it's a defensive tower on the woodland. Nice. So some relocation by Davidvj there to ensure wood income, which will be so important. But look at the economy here. Davidvj, being Khmer, not needing buildings to pick up. He's just gonna start harvesting gold soon. He even places a defensive tower on the gold here to make sure he can collect gold. And then he's going to beat Sithari big time to the castle age here. 14 villagers building a tower. Start the tower already. The tower goes up. It doesn't quite reach the gold though, or does it? We don't have thatching, so with thatching maybe you'll reach some of this gold. Davidvj only needs 150 gold though, and then he'll be on his way up. He's even dropping the blacknet, but he'll need that anyway for the upgrades for whatever unit is going for here. Score is deceivingly similar, I have to say, given the eco situation here and Sithari's idle DC time behind this. What's the farm situation? Couple more farms going up now. 4th farm. But look at the food count. Sithari DC is gonna go idle after this one, I think. Didn't take the hunt even. There's no hunt there that Sithari could take or could have pushed in earlier on. But now the TC is going to go idle because there's simply not enough food to support the starving population here. Another fight here, and now there's the yellow villagers with the hit points advantage here. By good margins actually, so this might be the end of Sithari's forward. Even if this tower goes up, Davidvj should be winning the engagement here. He's also with enough gold to go up now, just needs a little bit more food and market probably to sell the stone, I guess, to maybe buy some food as well and go up here. What's with the stone investment? Another tower on the gold here. And this woodland is simply, it's not scouted by Sithari, so that's the disadvantage of losing your starting scout as well. You can't keep scouting the map for expansions. So the knights will still be able to get out here and pound their way through, but they'll be subject to some tower fire before they find their way out. Very insistent towers play here by Sithari. And but the economy is less than stellar behind this, to put it that way. Sithari is not going to see the cast age anytime soon, and is actually in not too long going to struggle potentially for zone for more towers. So the second stall is forward. His woodline is quite exposed, just a few knights over here from Davidvj, and Sithari doesn't have any crucial resource income anymore. Tower's not quite succeeding in denying gold either, and Davidvj now just 30 seconds off the castle age here. Yeah, some knights on the field here for Davidvj, and there's not much Sithari can do. There's simply not economy here to mass Spearman, which is your best option in the field age. But Sithari plays on. Decider game potentially here if Davidvj takes it. So we'll see what the follow-up will be. I'm guessing nothing from this stable, okay. TC, okay. Davidvj, are you going to give Sithari time to double up on the economy and get back into this, or what's going on here? 11 farms now is still miles away from cast station, of course, but if Davidvj doesn't make any military here, he's kind of... Did he actually delete his... What the hell? Why would they delete his stable? Or is it the towers that killed it? Could be the towers that eventually killed it, but that's... Oh well, new stable going up. That's why we haven't seen any knights yet. The stable actually went down here. Forward coming to an end for Sithari, but Sithari dropping 2 barracks now is not gonna give up lightly here. So either it's a siege longsword push in the cast stage maybe, or it's just some more men-at-arms here to cause further annoyance, tear down towers, deny gold income maybe. But TC and the middle woodline already for Davidvj here is not going to struggle for wood anymore. He probably deleted, yeah. Then why not just use control groups and or simply make some knights here break out and get it done. There's only palisade walls, not stone walls. That's 100. There's only 175 wood down in the drain that could be used for better purposes. Sithari getting a poke in there. Sithari on the way to the castle age somehow here. So Davidvj needs to step up his game here, or he's actually going to throw this one. Surely it's stressful to be up against towers like this. Just explaining, not approving. Yes. More towers. But the knight's gonna make sure that doesn't happen here. From men-at-arms towers into spearman rush here. Now he doesn't think he's Incas anymore. Sithari thinks he's Byzantines now. So some mild civilization personality disorder at work here. It's obviously a reaction to the cavalry play of the Khmer that you'd expected all the way from the stables here, so no judgment there. We have 4 pointy boys chasing here, and finally they'll find the woodline in the middle here, so that's and the TC. TC almost ate a couple of the spears there, but they saved their lives for now. There's lots of blue on the map, so it's deceivingly much blue on the map compared to the actual map control that Sithari has, which isn't too significant here. Davidvj with 20 on food now, but not really. I mean, yeah, he's queuing villagers, so he could. Alright, no, never mind. That farm eco is kicking in like crazy now, so consistent, the one stable knight production should not be an issue here. Sithari is in the cast show and is going into pikemen, so knights alone won't cut it here for Davidvj, as he is expanding further, trying to take the other woodland here with the town center. Sithari really likes his towers. Eco lead though. Yeah, you could say that. Actually, if you look at the uptimes here, it's more than 5 minutes apart. If Davidvj had just pumped out some Khmer Knights earlier, he would have been in a much better spot. Yellow could just cast limit. Yeah, true as well. Elite Skirmisher, that's against the enemy pikes. But I feel like Davidvj is playing this way too passively. He had good options to do some earlier damage while Sithari was still in the field age here. Did I miss anything important, Sithari? You missed what the fuck is this pathing or whatever you wrote, and some unfortunate villager deaths at the start of this game. But you knew that already, didn't you? Not my best games. Well, in all fairness, Davidvj could have slaughtered you much earlier with just a few knights in this game, so I still have confidence in you. I don't remember the score, even though I've written it in the bracket, so we'll see who ends up winning this. Krepos now on the middle TC, but this TC is still collecting wood, so Davidvj could still relocate here. I think it's just a matter of buying time here for Sithari to get back into it, to stabilize and to get some counter-attack down here. Krepos is certainly a good way of taking a little bit of the map back here. Tear down some towers, maybe even the TC if the range allows. There's also a huge investment, obviously, in stone and villager working time. So it takes its toll on the economy behind this. Oh, deny some stone income here. Doink. That's 2 villagers down, actually. It's Davidvj. Where are you? 3. 4. Yes. 5. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter that much when Davidvj has 25 villagers lead, but it's still a good sneaky raid with just a couple of knights here from Sithari. I don't think that's going to turn things around here, but still good efforts here. The economy at home is stabilizing for Sithari as well. I might see another crab post or something here in the middle, maybe to secure wood access for the blue player here. And wait, where are they going? Ooh, another grab post. Don't tell me this is going up as well. Davidvj should see it. And Sithari actually has better upgrades on the knights as well. And Davidvj, he can't stop this, so he'll have to rebuild. He could have sent these knights around, I think, but... Oh, there's a castle here. I didn't see that one going up. That certainly puts a stopper to that scrap post once the castle can do its work here. Oh, change our minds. Where are we going? Only 5 villagers building scrap post? That's gonna take a while. And it's not like there aren't 8 knights here to stop this from happening. Oh, yeah, Sithari, what are you doing? What are you doing? Is this all an elaborate distraction to plot the master plan behind this at home? GG is called, and understandably so. Men-at-Arms towers didn't work out to begin with Sithari here, and Davidvj takes the 2-0 and advances to the semi-final. Let's go to the come on, stats screen here. 9:25 uptime. I think that was a minimum, maybe very little idle time going up to the feudal age here for Sithari, going for the men-at-arms towers, but Davidvj saw right through him, saw the villagers moving forward, maybe the men-at-arms as well, and caught them on the way, dealt with the men-at-arms with the villagers, and then to some extent defended against the towers. There was some momentum for Sithari there, but villagers just have such an easy time to take out towers, so Davidvj still made it to the cast stage well ahead of his opponent here, although he didn't make all that much of the cast stage, played two TCs instead of pumping out some knights. The overall economy, more resources collected total for Davidvj here. Especially more gold, really likes his gold apparently. Society score should show a solid villager lead for Davidvj, and also that one castle in the middle, making a push difficult for Sithari.